helicopter crashed right into a canal in southwest Miami-Dade. Sky sent over the scene about 3 miles west of Miami Executive Airport on Wednesday. Those 2 people were the only passengers on board the chopper when it went down. We're told the woman is expected to recover. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board will investigate the crash.
2 teens accused of an armed carjacking in Hollywood are now in custody. Dashcam video shows officers using a tool called a grappler to bring the suspect's yellow Camaro to a complete stop. Cell phone video shows 2 17-year-olds, Terrell Kirkland and Santiago Iglesias, surrendering. Police also say one of the suspects threw a firearm out of the window, but it was later recovered. They both face several charges, including armed carjacking.
Hundreds lining the streets of Miami Beach for a night of holiday drag. The event comes after the Christmas-themed drag show at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts sparked some controversy. The DeSantis administration saying the show violated state law, allowing children to attend adult live performances. The state has gone after several venues and threatened them with severe penalties. A federal judge in Florida temporarily blocked that law.
A victim fights back after he was targeted by thieves. The man withdrew money from a TD Bank in Aventura before heading over to Sunny Isles Beach. The victim was sitting in his car when he says 3 thieves approached him and one of them had a gun. He kicked the trio away as they attempted to yank open his car door. Officers eventually arrested Derek Lawrence and Darmaine Wooden in connection to the crime. The search is still on for the 3rd suspect.
And now, here's your Local 10 traffic update.
All right, as we get a look at your roads just before 6 a.m., things looking good out there still. No major incidents or delays. This is a look at I-95 right at Griffin Road. There was an incident here earlier on that off-ramp that I told you about. There were several police vehicles that has since cleared. Nothing to worry about there on that off-ramp anymore. Now, you do have some delays on I-95 southbound right at Hallandale Beach Boulevard, slowing things down there to 11 miles per hour, but the rest of Miami-Dade, Broward County is looking good. Other than that, here's a look at your Golden Glades where things are moving smoothly.
In today's Pop Topics, it is time for a look back at the biggest stories in entertainment in 2023. You will definitely recognize the names and the events that made this such a memorable year. 2023 was a year of historic events and major change in entertainment.
I think we could sum up entertainment in 2023 with one word: disruption.
In May, the Writers Union went on strike against Hollywood studios. And in July, the Actors Union struck as well.
Those strikes literally brought Hollywood to a screeching halt. Nothing was going on while the writers and the actors were on strike.
It was the first time the 2 unions had been on strike together in 63 years. The writers reached an agreement with the studios in September, and the actors' strike ended with a new deal in November.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was the big winner at the Oscars, taking the Best Picture, Best Actress, and both Supporting Actor awards.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken. 2 very different movies released on the same day in July dominated the summer box office.
When I think 2023 in film, I think Barbenheimer. There's nothing else really. It is all about Barbie and Oppenheimer. People were going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
And when it comes to music in 2023, one name stands alone.
Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift.
She had the highest grossing concert tour of the year. The movie from that tour became the biggest concert film of all time. She was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year, and she practically broke the internet with her relationship with Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
I have nothing to prove to anyone at this point.
Beyonce's Renaissance tour grossed more than $500 million this year. And like Taylor Swift, she took her concert movie directly to theaters.
Beyonce could have had any studio distributing, her concert film about her Renaissance tour, but Beyonce said, you know what? I don't need a studio either. I'm going to go straight to the theaters.
On TV, Succession earned the most Emmy Award nominations this year with 27. The Last of Us had 24 nominations. The White Lotus has 23. And Ted Lasso earned 21. Those were some of my favorite shows there. The Emmy Awards show, well, it was delayed this year due to the Hollywood strikes, but it will air in January.
It was an emotional moment for Shakira. She was honored with a statue in Barranquilla, Colombia. The bronze statue capturing her iconic dance move from the Hips Don't Lie music video. The singer sharing the heartfelt experience with her parents, expressing gratitude on her mother's birthday.
That looks really good. All right, now to Ariana Grande, who's announcing a new album in 2024, teasing fans with glimpses from the studio on Instagram, indicating she'll be dropping a new album in 2024. The caption, "See you next year." Cute. The Grammy winner on her 7th studio album shares the journey, capturing moods and expressing gratitude. This comes after Grande signed with Good World Management and post-separation from her marriage to Dalton Gomez. So we might have some breakup songs, ladies, and we're going to have some feel-good music because I liked her. Thank you. Next.
Be ready for the new year.
Yes.
It's time to smile. A 101-year-old woman pursues her college degree in early childhood education.
Sarah Simpkins is finishing her first semester at Bright Point Community College in Chester. She says she embodies resilience, youthfulness, and inspiration for her granddaughter and others. Simpkins, motivated by a lifelong dream, plans to graduate at 102 years young, proving that at age is just a number.
It's special because we both were finished together and we both walked across the stage together. It made us work harder, and that was our motivation. We're going to do this together. We're going to finish together.
Well, for now, she is going to enjoy her Christmas break like all of her classmates before she returns the next semester to finish her degree. Such inspiration. Look at her. She looks good, 102. And she's sharp, clearly, is going to school.
Way to go, Ms. Simpkins. Can't wait to see you achieve. All right, that's it for Local 10 News at 5:30 on this Thursday.
But don't go nowhere. Local 10 News at 6 is coming your way next.
Right now at 6.
I'm Alex Finney. A deadly helicopter crash in southwest Miami-Dade still under investigation as the one surviving victim remains in the hospital. Details next.
The search for suspects continues after the man who just took out cash had to take on 3 thieves.
The Miami Seaquarium announced the death of one of its dolphins, what the Seaquarium says may have been the cause of death.
Mexico clears out migrant camps at the U.S. southern border after officials met with U.S. counterparts to cut down on the surge of asylum seekers. Details of those discussions straight ahead.
And at the timeline of rain moving in today, but what's getting all the attention is what's coming for the weekend. I have your forecast coming up.
It's 6 a.m. The news starts now.
Good Thursday morning, South Florida. Hi, I'm Eric Yutzi.
And I'm Alexis Frazier in for JC Birch. We do have Weather Authority meteorologist Brandon Orr. You just saw him there. You need to see him again because we have a cold front coming and some rain. So you need to hear all the information. Brandon, what are things looking at right now?
And a whole lot of rain, too. You can see radar is lit up here in the Gulf of Mexico. The leading edge is not going to move in for the next couple of hours. So we have a little bit more dry time to get through before things start going downhill. But the leading edge did make it to Key West. The rain has started there. And Key West, you're going to be locked in with this rain for the next several hours, likely until around noon, 1 o'clock down here. Even a couple of thunderstorms possible. You can see some lightning strikes showing up. For the rest of us, it's going to be later on this morning. I think by 9 o'clock, the rain is already starting across the area, and then we'll have a steady rain for several hours into the early afternoon. The heaviest moving through 10, 11, right about noon or so. And by 3 or 4, most of the heavy rain is offshore, and we're looking better. And the second half today is mostly dry as we approach the late afternoon and especially by around sunset. So since the rain is coming in during daytime heating, highs a little bit cooler, so a chilly rain into the 60s. That's it for today. Coming up, it gets a whole lot cooler than that in the 7-day forecast. I'll show you how low we're going to go for the new year. Coming up.
And now here's your Local 10 traffic update.
Good morning, South Florida. Just after 6 a.m. and your roads are looking good out there as you head out the door. Broward County, your I-95 commute is looking great. Smooth sailing. This is a live look at your traffic camera right at Griffin Road. No issues there. We do have a little bit of a slowdown if you are in the Hollywood area. Actually, it just cleared. I-95 southbound was a little busy here near Hallandale Beach Boulevard because of some construction, but your speed times are now back to 69 miles per hour. So nothing to worry about there. Miami-Dade, you're in the clear too. I-95 right as you're approaching that interchange looking great, and the Palmetto Expressway right at the Turnpike also looking good. Alexis.
All right, Andrea, off the top at 5. A man and woman are rushed to the hospital after their helicopter comes crashing down into a southwest Miami-Dade canal. First responders rushed to pull the two out of the water on Wednesday afternoon. But sadly, only one person made it out alive.
Local 10's Alex Finney live this morning in southwest Miami-Dade with more on this story. Alex.
Just such a sad situation, you know, anytime this happens, but certainly as we are in the throes of the holidays, we know that sadly one person did not survive. The surviving victim in this case currently fighting for her life in the hospital. A horrible sight in the sky as multiple 911 calls came in Wednesday afternoon. People reporting seeing a small plane spinning out of control before crashing into a canal.
Witnesses were stating that they saw what appeared to be a helicopter that was spinning and falling.
It happened around 1 o'clock in Southwest Miami-Dade near the 18,000 block of Southwest 122nd Street, just 3 miles west of Miami Executive Airport. 2 people were on board, a man and a woman, when it went down. The woman seen here being transported to the hospital is expected to recover, but the man on board sadly died at the hospital.
Is this a passenger and a pilot? Is this an instructor and a learning pilot? We don't know as of yet.
And it's not known yet which of the 2 were flying the Hughes 369 chopper. The 2 were flying from the Fort Myers area. Sky 10 flew over the scene as investigators began the process of retrieving that chopper. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board will head up the crash investigation. Miami-Dade police will oversee the death of the man on board. And we do know that crews were working well into the night on Wednesday as they were working that wreckage site there. Of course, as soon as we do get an update on the surviving victim that is currently in the hospital, we will keep you posted. But as we mentioned there, she is expected to recover. For now, that's the very latest live in Southwest Miami-Dade this morning. Alex Finney, Local 10 News.
Southwest Airlines flight bound for Austin, Texas made an emergency return to Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport after a bird strike. Sky 10 over the plane's safe arrival just after noon on Wednesday. That bird strike happening shortly after takeoff. A different aircraft is taking passengers now to their destination. No one was hurt.
Hundreds lined the streets of Miami Beach for a night of holiday drag. Last year, the Christmas-themed drag show at Broward Center for Performing Art was accused of violating state law. The DeSantis administration saying the show allowed children to attend adult live performances.
This is an art form. Drag is an art form. There are drag shows catered to kids. This is not that clearly because it says 18 and up.
No place in our K-12.
The state has gone after several venues and threatened them with severe penalties. However, a federal judge in Florida temporarily blocked the law.
We're learning new details on a breaking news story we brought to you yesterday morning. 3 men recovering from injuries after a shooting on Wednesday morning in Miami. Police said it all started with a fight inside an Overtown market near Northwest 12th Street and First Place. Jesus Maria Falu allegedly followed the 2 victims as they left the store, and the 3 men exchanged gunfire. Police say the fight started because Falu did not like that the victims were wearing ski masks as a fashion statement.
Right. And my son try make control for the store. I say, please, man, just go outside, fix your problem. 1 bullet in the door and another bullet coming in my car.
And your car was parked over there?
Yeah, with the black car.
Wow.
The store owner said more than a dozen shots were fired. No bystanders were hurt. All 3 men were rushed to Jackson Memorial Hospital. No word yet on their condition. As for Falu, he is now charged with attempted felony murder.
And now to a one and only exclusive. A victim fights back as he is targeted by thieves. That man withdrew money from a TD Bank in Aventura before heading over to Sunny Isles Beach. The victim was sitting in his car when he says 3 thieves approached him and one of them had a gun. That's when the trio attempted to yank open his car door.
They was holding the door. They tried to open it. So with one hand I hold, and then with the leg, whoa! I just kicked the door. Yeah, seriously. At that moment I was so scary, and I just prayed to God, please God, like, help me.
Investigators say the suspects committed the same crime at another bank, successfully getting away with some cash. Officers eventually arrested Dietrich Lawrence and Darmaine Wooden in connection with the crime. The search is still on for the 3rd suspect.
The Miami Seaquarium announcing the death of one of its dolphins. They did confirm that Sundance died after precursors of illness. You may remember Sundance was the dolphin that attacked a trainer during a show in April of last year. The Seaquarium has said the trainer accidentally scratched the dolphin during a practice routine, which caused Sundance to break away from the routine and strike the trainer. Sundance was a descendant of one of the dolphins who played Flipper and was one of the oldest dolphins at the park. Sources say he had stopped eating. So far, Miami Seaquarium has not responded to our request for comment, but on his X, in a statement, the Seaquarium said in part, "Our hearts are with the trainers and medical staff who unconditionally cared for him for more than 30 years.
Right now, former U.S. Senator Herb Kohl of Wisconsin has died after a brief illness. According to the Herb Kohl Foundation, he graduated from the University of Wisconsin and earned an MBA from Harvard. Kohl bought the NBA's Milwaukee Bucks in 1985, and when he sold the team, he donated $100 million to help the franchise build a new arena. In 1988, he ran for U.S. Senate and served for nearly a quarter century. Herb was 88.
The House of Representatives opening an investigation into a South Florida Congresswoman. Representative Sheila Sheriff-Ellis McCormick is facing an ethics probe. The investigation all centered on allegations that the Congresswoman may have violated campaign finance laws in her 2022 special election campaign. The House Committee on Ethics is working to determine if she failed to disclose information on statements filed with the White House. Sheriff-Ellis McCormick's office issuing a statement addressing the investigation, saying, quote, as the Ethics Committee said in its statement, the mere fact of establishing an investigative subcommittee does not itself indicate that any violation occurred. Regardless, the Congresswoman takes these matters seriously and is working to resolve them. We turn to the crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border as leaders in Mexico announce a new strategy trying to alleviate that situation. And last night's announcement comes as border officials brace for a record high migrant crossings. Mexican officials unveiling a new task force to address the migrant surge at the U.S.-Mexico border, a move that comes after U.S. officials pressed the nation to do more to stem the crisis. Sources tell ABC News that Secretary of State Antony Blinken and DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas pushed Mexico to step up immigration enforcement within their country, help reopen key ports of entry, and encourage migrants to stay in Mexico. Mexico's Foreign Affairs Minister heeding that request, telling reporters after the meeting that as a part of the new task force, Mexico will regularly meet with countries in Central and Latin America. The next meeting will be in January. One senior U.S. administration official telling ABC News that the U.S. is pleased with what Mexico proposed. The news coming as overwhelmed border officials brace for the arrival of this caravan, a group that is estimated to top 6,000 migrants. The month of December is on track to have the highest number of apprehensions ever, according to CPB officials. Some days they predict could even reach 10,000. Elsewhere in the U.S., Texas's Governor Greg Abbott infuriating Democratic mayors by sending migrants to their own cities, all on the taxpayer's dime. New York City Mayor Eric Adams rebuking him and telling him to stop playing games and urging the federal government to intervene.
To stop the games and use of migrants as political pawns. We need the state and federal government's help in resettling and supporting the 68,000 migrants still in our care, as well as those who are on their way and those yet to come.
Mexican leaders also told U.S. officials they will crack down on smugglers. Back in the U.S., a sweeping bipartisan border bill remains stuck in Congress.
Coming up, a man pulls out a gun in what appears to be a road rage dispute, and it was all caught on camera.
And one rare rescue, 3 people saved from an area with no cell phone service.
And a woman in South Carolina celebrates a huge milestone. We'll take you to the sweet celebration.
Local 10 weather with certified meteorologist Brandon Orr.
Westlake.